So the game I'm playing today is called Gyruss. This is a shoot-'em-up released by Konami in 1983. Yes, for once I'm not playing a freaking Namco game, because I think the past 3 videos I've done on, like, arcade titles have all been, like, Namco games. But we are switching it up a little bit today. Now, the best way that I can describe Gyruss is that it's kind of like Galaga meets Tempest. So the actual gameplay of Gyruss is fairly similar to Galaga, but the way in which the enemies produce formations and also in the way that they attack you is a lot more similar to Tempest. This is essentially like a tube shooter, but done using 2D pixel graphics as opposed to vector graphics, which is what Atari did with Tempest. The movement of your ship is still technically fixed, much like it is in Tempest, but of course, because the game plays more like a tube shooter, it is possible to move your ship around on the screen in a circle, and because the gameplay is supposed to be a lot more akin to Galaga, it is a little bit faster paced as well. So as with most games back in this time period, Gyruss doesn't really have that much of a plot at all. You are basically just destroying spaceships and occasionally destroying some other structures as well, such as satellites and laser generators. And the overall objective of the game is that you are flying through the solar system trying to get back to planet Earth. I do believe you are ultimately trying to defend the solar system from the enemy spaceships. I don't see why else you would be obliterating them, so yeah, it's a pretty neat game overall. It's basically like Galaga, but it's a tube shooter. And I wanted to try and show it off today. Now, Gyruss is not one of Konami's more well-known IPs. I do feel like this is another one of their obscure shoot-'em-ups here. I do not believe that Gyruss was ever followed by a sequel. I do know that it received ports to consoles, including the NES, and a lot of Atari's consoles as well, including the 2600 and the 5200. It was ported to some home computers of the era as well, including the Commodore 64. It was also brought to the PlayStation 1 and even the Game Boy Advance as part of Konami's own compilations. But other than that, the game never received a proper sequel of any sort, not to my knowledge anyway. I have known about Gyruss for quite some time. I actually discovered this game through a pretty unusual source. So the way that I found out about this game initially was actually through another much more well-known Konami IP, Dance Dance Revolution. So in one of the DDR games, I think DDR Ultra Mix 2 to be specific, there is actually a remix of the Gyruss theme in that game. And I think that remix was also included in some other DDR games as well. But yeah, that was actually my first exposure to this game through DDR of all places. And I imagine that the only reason Konami would have even been able to add a Gyruss remix into DDR is because they actually own the Gyruss IP, because they are the ones who made the original game in the first place, so Konami owns both DDR and Gyruss, so I guess it makes sense when you think about it like that. And it wouldn't have been the first time Konami included a remix of one of their own video game themes in DDR, because I think they also did the same thing with Gradius at one point. There was like a Gradius remix that was included in one of the DDR games. Gyruss is also notable for being an early arcade game to include stereo sound. Apparently, the arcade cabinet for this game actually had 2 speakers built into it, and there are some sound effects in this game that come out of the left speaker and others that come out of the right. So I guess Konami really wanted to try and immerse you a lot more into the game. I mean, this is another Konami shoot-'em-up that technically uses a third-person perspective. I say another because Konami already made another shoot-'em-up that kind of had like a pseudo 3D perspective as well, which was Juno First, which I also did a video on. Anyway, I feel like I'm already beginning to go off on several different tangents here, so let's just begin. You guys want to see some actual gameplay here? Well, by God, I'm gonna supply you with it, so let's freaking go then. Just add a few credits into here. So one thing I noticed is that, much like Juno First, this game also has a dip switch that allows you to enable 255 lives. Probably not going to be abusing that in this video though, because I'm probably not going to be showing off too much of this game here. I have been able to make it up to stage 8 on 5 lives, and I mean the gameplay doesn't differ all too much in the later stages, so yeah, I'm not gonna keep you guys here for too long. Let's just get freaking started here. Alright, so we're trying to get to Neptune right now. We got 2 war-ups to Neptune, so If you're using Mayhem, you press the control key to fire, and you just use the arrow keys to move around here. So you can move around the entire screen, as you can see, and you can actually perform loops around the screen. And I don't exactly know how useful that is, aside from, like, you know, dodging the enemies, of course. There's also these satellites right here that will try to attack you from time to time. You have to try and destroy that one in the middle. The satellite in the middle, if you destroy it, you actually get an upgraded weapon, so you can now fire 2 bullets, which causes even more damage. Very nice. Or you can kill a lot more enemies, in a littler amount of time, or like a less amount of time, when you have, like, the dual bullets here. Of course, don't get hit by the enemy bullets, otherwise you just end up losing that weapon, and you're just stuck with the bog standard weapon, unfortunately, which is not ideal at all. So, yeah, literally don't do what I ever do in any of my videos. Oh my god, please. Yeah, so I guess in sticking true to its name, you'll notice that the enemies around this little circle here are actually gyrating back and forth. So they do form in a bit of like a circle pattern here, as you can see. Now, I don't believe you technically need to kill any of the enemies in this game, because I think if you take too long to destroy the enemies, they will actually just leave, eventually. So, if you don't want to try and kill them, and you want to try and go for like a pacifist run, I do believe you actually can. But we are here at Neptune now, and so whenever you get to a different planet, or when you arrive at a different planet, you get the opportunity to play a chance stage. So, the enemies cannot kill you at all in this game. You'll notice that the enemies are actually just phasing right through me here. So, much like basically every other shoot-'em-up that came out during this era, the whole point of the chance stage is to just try and get more points by killing enemies, and that's about it. This was back at a time when high scores actually mattered in games. 3 war-ups to Uranus. The joke is too obvious, so I'm not even going to make it. Whatever, let's just move on. Okay, I don't even know how exactly that hit me, but whatever. Whatever. These asteroids you cannot destroy, by the way. Yeah, this is one of these really weird shoot-'em-ups where you actually cannot destroy the asteroids for some reason. I mean, I'm just doing a bad job at destroying anything right now, so I mean... yeah, so I mean, this is pretty much the entire game. Yeah, so these guys will also kind of like fly around the perimeter of the arena right here, I guess you could call it. And they kind of just fly back and forth to try and, like, run into you. I do believe what they're really trying to do is just escape. So, again, if you don't want to kill any of the enemies in this game, I don't think you have to, technically, because they will just fly away after a while. Anyway, you might have noticed that, I just ended up getting killed again. Okay, so, I will admit that the controls in this game are a little bit weird. When you're trying to move around the parameter of this circle right here, I guess you could call it, you do actually need, oh my god, you do actually need to, I guess, tilt the joystick, because I'm just talking about, like, what you would probably be doing if you were playing this on, like, an actual, on an actual, like, oh wait, actually, this guy didn't disappear. Okay, he just went back to the center. Okay, maybe they don't actually fly away. Whatever, but I imagine that if you were playing this on an actual cabinet, I think what you have to do in order to, like, perform a full loop around the screen like this is that you have to move the joystick in the direction that you want to go. So, yeah, pressing the right arrow key, as soon as I get to this point on the screen right here, I actually can't move at all. So then I have to press the up arrow, then left, and then down. Yeah, so it depends on where I am on the screen, actually. Yeah, so it's not like you can hold the joystick in one direction and just somehow expect that to work. Like, you need to put some actual effort into it. You need to actually, like, perform full rotations with the joystick. Oh my god, dude, how in the world do I just... Yeah, I perform full rotations and it causes me to fly into literally everything. Give me my damn weapon back. There we go. Thank you. Get this damn satellite out of here as well. The satellites give you a lot of points at the very least. Okay, we're back at Neptune, and try this bonus stage again. I have managed to get all the way to Uranus. Like I said, I made it all the way to stage 8 before, so let's see if I can actually, like, do this well for a change. I know, actually being good at video games is not exactly my forte, but I mean, we're gonna try it here, okay? Gotta make an honest attempt here. There we go. I think I got, like, a good angle right here. There. I did a little bit better that time, actually. 36, I think there's like 40 enemies that you have to destroy in total in the chance stages. That's okay. Okay, 3 war-ups to Uranus. Let's see if we can actually make it all the way to Uranus. Okay. Did those guys just phase right through me? Okay, I'm not entirely sure how that didn't kill me. Maybe they can't actually kill you when they're like diving in like that? I don't exactly know, but that was strange. I was not expecting that. That actually caught me off guard. Because I thought I had, like, accidentally ran into the enemies again. Okay, well, anyway, that stage is done. There we go. Making some progress. Alright, let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going for now. There we go, 1,000 points. Yeah, so this little thing right here is the laser beam generator. The thing that I just destroyed. I think I actually did get an extra life. I think you get an extra life at 30,000 points. Which I am already well past somehow. I have no idea how, but yeah. Those right there are like little laser beam generators. Oh my god, dude, I have no spatial awareness right now. What is happening? I mean, I will admit, the fact that you're moving around in like a circular pattern it can be a bit disorienting at times. Not to mention, the controls are like, I don't know, I don't feel like they're exactly intuitive, but like, I got through it either way. 1 war up to Uranus. Okay, so we're about to reach Uranus here. Yeah, again, you can just ignore the laser beam generators because you don't need to actually destroy them. You can just try to avoid them. You can just try to avoid absolutely everything in this game because I don't know, maybe killing some of the ships are required, but I know that there are some ships that like will spawn in, but then they'll just fly away for some reason. It's not quite similar to Galaga in that regard, because none of the ships in Galaga fly away like that, but... Okay, yeah, so they actually do fly off the screen, but then they spawn back in the center of the screen. Okay, so maybe they don't actually fly away. I think I'm just going crazy. Alright, well anyway, here's Uranus. Tilted on its side, of course, because, I mean, it literally is tilted on its side in reality. You know, Konami committing to the realism, which I can definitely appreciate. Committing to the immersion. Immersion. Okay, here we go. There's just a bunch of satellites right here. And by the way, I think there's only like 2 different weapon types that you can actually use in this game. I think the only other weapon type, like the upgraded one, you can get from destroying the satellites. And, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but you need to destroy the satellite in the middle, because that's the only one that actually drops the upgraded weapon. And you'll know which one to destroy, because the middle satellite has a different appearance than, the ones on the left or the right. And if you already possess the weapon that it normally drops, then it just looks like a normal satellite. I don't even know how I got hit, but... Okay, maybe I do need the infinite lives cheat, because this is, more shoddy of a performance than, what you guys are probably normally used to seeing on this channel. I mean, it's not like it really matters either way, because I basically just showed you guys the entire game. So, as with most games from this era, Gyruss does not have an ending, because I think when you do finally get to Earth, the game does not actually end there. I think it does begin to repeat at that point. Like, the levels begin to repeat. There we go, at least I got the upgraded weapon again. I got it back. Yeah, there will come a point when the levels will begin to repeat themselves, so I mean, I feel like I have basically just, oh my god, this guy's doing a really good job at dodging bullets here, holy crap. But there will come a point when the levels will begin to repeat themselves, and I mean, I do feel like I've pretty much shown the entire game, because I mean, I don't think the later levels really differ all too much after that. I do think it does introduce some new enemy types, like the asteroids and the laser beam generators that you don't actually need to destroy because you can just avoid them altogether. They'll just move right off the screen. They'll just fly away after a little while. Okay, if I can actually, like, hit this other thing... Okay, never mind, it just flew away. I mean, sometimes it can be really hard to try and, hit those satellites while also avoiding the bullets from the enemies that are behind it. I will also admit that the chance stages are definitely a lot easier when you have the upgraded weapon type as well. That's totally fine, though. I might actually just try to attempt this, like, maybe one more time, because, I mean, I really have, like, nothing else that I would like to discuss regarding this game, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this game is literally just Galaga, but it's a tube shooter. I mean, it's not exactly the most original shoot-'em-up that Konami has ever made. Okay, yeah, I guess when these guys are forming, I guess because they're moving away from me, technically, they don't actually hurt me? I don't understand that at all. That just seems kind of bizarre. There we go. Just get these out of the way. Yeah, they don't, not all of them stay. Some of them do actually just leave. Alright, well, in that case, let's just keep on going for now. Oh my god, the satellite's back. Okay, there we go. I actually freaking hit it that time. Yeah, so there's like 2 different generators that are actually creating that, that laser beam field. I guess it's more like an electricity field than anything else. Yeah, those little things right there. So, you only have to destroy one of the generators in order for the electricity field to deactivate, basically. But the other generator is going to stay there, and I'm pretty sure you can actually run into the other generator still, so you have to either obliterate the other one, or you just, you know, avoid it, like you do with pretty much everything else in this game. Yeah, these asteroids are just straight up indestructible. I mean, I don't know if you can destroy the asteroids with the upgraded weapon. I'm not sure if I actually tried doing that yet. I mean, I could try when the satellites, like, spawn back in. Okay, I do actually have my weapon back, so let's see if... Oh, never mind, I already beat the stage somehow. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna play the chance stage again then. Alright, fine, frick it. This probably will be a lot easier now that I have technically more bullets. I want to mention as well, by the way, that every time you fire your weapons, they always move towards the center of the screen. So there's like a little point in the screen that they actually gravitate towards. So it's not like you can shoot enemies that are directly above you, like at the top of the screen, because all your bullets travel to the center. So if you want to go and hit them, well, you have to actually, like, move around on the screen and, meet them where they're at, basically. I think I forgot to mention that up to this point. Okay, I guess the asteroids are not destructible then, even with my upgraded weapon, because it seems like they're just absorbing all of my bullets here. Oh yeah, you can't obliterate them at all, man. They're indestructible. Apparently these asteroids are made out of actual titanium. I don't understand. Okay. You know what? I think I should just quit while I'm ahead. Okay, well, I actually almost beat my previous score again. Yeah, you know what I think I'm gonna do, guys? I think I'm actually just gonna end the video there, because, I mean, I don't have anything else to say about Gyruss. That's basically the whole game. It's, I don't know, it was kind of like Konami's answer to both Galaga and Tempest, and their answer to both of those titles was to combine their gameplay aspects together to create a Galaga-esque tube shooter. And I mean, it's still pretty interesting. You know, it's definitely fun for what it is, and it's certainly a lot more challenging than Galaga itself. I do actually sort of prefer this style of gameplay over, you know, what Namco did with Galaga. But again, there's not really that much else to the game, because I think there's only like one upgraded weapon that you can get in the entire game from destroying one of those satellites. And I don't think there's that much variety in the enemy types either, because I think the only enemies you ever come across are spaceships. Some of them are different colors, but they perform pretty much the same as one another. You know, you got the asteroids that you can't even blow up at all, which is weird, because, I mean, it's a shoot-'em-up. You'd think you'd be able to do that, but you can't. You have those electricity field generators that appear from time to time, but those don't ever change their appearance either, and you don't even need to destroy them at all, because you can just straight up avoid them. They'll just fly off the screen. And like I said before, the game does not have an ending. After you get to planet Earth, I do think the game just repeats over and over after that, so it's just a matter of surviving for as long as possible. And I think because of that, there's really not any other point to padding this video out, so I'm just gonna end it there. Yeah, so that's Gyruss, an interesting little shoot-'em-up that Konami made way back in the 80s. A game that I actually discovered through Dance Dance Revolution, weirdly enough. I guess if you're looking for a more interesting take on the whole Galaga formula, then I guess you could also give this game a try as well. But I mean, there aren't really that many aspects of this game that make it, like, truly unique, because I mean, it's basically just taking ideas that were already established in Galaga and Tempest, and basically just combining them together. So I mean, it's not the most original shoot-'em-up, but it's still pretty fun for what it is. Maybe not quite as original as some of Konami's earlier shoot-'em-ups were, like Scramble or Time Pilot or even Juno First, but I mean, I think it's still worth checking out if you're into, like, retro shoot-'em-ups, and if you're into games like Galaga or Tempest, if you always wanted to see what would happen if the gameplay aspects of those two games were to be combined. Yeah, I still think Gyruss is worth checking out just for that alone. But again, whenever I cover these old retro games on my channel, I'm not going to provide a link to where you guys can download them. Just go find a ROM of the game for yourself. Google is your friend, as I always keep saying, so yeah, I have nothing more to add to this, so we're done here, okay? That's it, show's over, go do something more productive with your life now. Anyway, thank you guys as always for watching, and I will see you in the next video I make. Later.